Welcome to the shop, and in today's video we're going to be doing an unboxing, assembly, and short review of the Vulcan Heavy Duty welding cart from Harbor Freight. After unboxing and verifying that the cabinet is free of damage, the next thing you want to do is inventory all the required parts, hardware, and accessories. The Vulcan cabinet comes with the bottom tray with axle attached for the wheels, along with a heavy-duty handle. Now, this handle is a lot nicer than one would typically expect from a Harbor Freight product, in that it does have a nice vinyl rubberized handle for an added touch. The next item is going to be the TIG rod holder hardware. One upper bracket and one lower bracket. The upper bracket is open on the bottom for the tubes to slide down in through, and the lower bracket has a bottom shelf to prevent the tubes from falling out of the bottom. The next two brackets are the gas cylinder attach points for the chain to attach and hold the gas cylinders on the back of the welding cart. There is 4 mounting tabs for welding work leads and or cable management. And then we have the organized hardware package separated by heat sealing between each hardware requirement. Again, another added nice touch that we usually don't see from Harbor Freight products. We have 2 internal shelves. They are exactly the same. The 2 shelves fit in and slide in on these brackets inside the large cabinet. It looks like there's 4 possible options for that shelf to sit on, and adjust the height as you desire for whatever you're trying to store in the large side of the cabinet. The last piece of hardware on the list is our 2 swivel locking wheels, as well as our large main roller wheels. Once you've verified all the parts and or hardware is present, the next thing to do is start the assembly process. I've always found a good practice to, anytime you're assembling wheels on the bottom of a cart, to prevent future issues, to use a thread locker. However, do not use thread locker red, keeping in mind that the color of the bottle or tube may not indicate the product inside. These are red bottles that happen to be red thread locker. Red thread locker is permanent and requires heat to be removed. Not something you want on a vinyl, rubber, or plastic wheel assembly, or anything with wheels and bearings. Various manufacturers will have different color bottles and different products within. This is a blue Permatex thread locker, but it has thread locker red inside, as noted by the high strength and thread locker red on the bottle. Again, not something you want. Another product by Permatex, medium strength thread locker blue. That is what you want, not Permatex high temperature thread sealant or any of the other offerings other than blue thread locker. Blue thread locker is medium strength, and even with lock washers on a wheel assembly that is going to be on a cart underneath, it's not something you want to constantly be tightening or having to deal with bolts and or hardware coming loose from underneath a loaded cart and or cabinet. So I always find it good practice to put just a little bit of blue medium strength thread locker, even with lock washers, to prevent me from having to continually maintain it for years to come. One of the nicest features about these swivel locking casters, they not only spin and swivel, obviously being swiveling casters, but they are two-way locking swiveling casters, meaning that these little serrated edges, when in the locked position, lock not only the swivel portion of the caster, but the spin portion of the wheel, which is a very nice feature. Another nice and unexpected feature of the packaging is that it is separated and organized in the order in which you would use it for assembly. So the next thing we have to do is mount our main wheels to the gas cylinder carriage. In the next partition of the hardware package, there are 22 M6x12 screws that are labeled as bolts as item number 5 in the parts list. Unfortunately, none of these screws come with lock washers, so the practice of using a medium strength thread locker is in order and is good practice to use on any bolt and or screw that goes on the underside and inaccessible part of the welding cabinet once it's assembled. Now that we have the gas cylinder cart attached to the bottom and the cart back upright, we're going to move on to the installation of the gas cylinder mounts. Next, we're going to move around to the back of the cart and install the TIG rod holders. The TIG rod mount with the open bottom mounts to the top of the cart. The TIG rod holder with the closed bottom mounts to the bottom of the cart. The next thing we're going to install is 2 cable lead hooks on the back of the cart. We have an additional 2 cable hooks that go on the side of the cart with the handle. Using the same item number 5 M6x12 hardware as before and a little dab of red thread locker. The final 2 cable hooks go on the handle side of the cart, and they're the final item to attach with the remaining item number 5 in the parts list, the M6x12 bolts. The handle takes a shorter bolt that has a hex head, so do take note of that. Final exterior component to install is the handle, and for that we have the M6x10 hex head bolt, which is a 10mm head. Again, this piece of hardware comes with no lock washers, so we put one little bitty smidge of red thread locker to prevent the handle from coming loose over time. The only remaining component we have left to install is the shelves in the large cabinet on the right. The only tools you will need to complete the assembly of the Vulcan Heavy Duty welding cart. This is a number 3 Phillips head driver along with a extension. I'm using a hex to 3/8 drive adapter along with a 3/8 drive 14mm socket, a 10mm wrench, and I'm installing all these bolts and screws with the Milwaukee hex driver. If you don't have the power tools, fear not, you can always use your normal 3/8 drive ratchet as well as a number 2 or 3 Phillips head screwdriver. As an added precaution, some of the hardware does come with lock washers and some does not. For the hardware that does come with lock washers, I'm electing to use blue medium strength thread locker, and on some of the hardware with peripheral attachments that does not come with lock washers, we are electing to use red permanent thread locker. So if you found this video helpful at all, please click that thumbs up button and like the video. If you want to see more product reviews like this, consider subscribing and turn on your bell notifications. That way you get notified just as soon as I post another video. I appreciate it as always, and until next time, thanks for watching this one.